Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Gaslands TV. Today we're going to be doing this little thing. I don't know what to call it, but this is the original Hot Wheel that I bought. I think it's a Easy 2 or 2 Easy or something like that. And then I bought a Matchbox truck, and it has like tank tracks. And I put the car, well, I'm planning on putting the car on top of that. So start by obviously drilling out the bits so that I could remove the tires and replace it with these tracks. Then I glued one of these drill looking things that you could get at your hardware store, and I removed the glass so that I could put mesh on top of the driver there. The mesh is basically drywall sandpaper that you could buy also at the hardware store. Put a bit of glue at the ends and it should stay. Then for a neat little trick here, you could use these things to hold closed bags, to close your uh, bread bags, and you could actually make a wing. So basically, you cut it in half, and then you cut this in half again, and you got parts to make a spoiler. The plastic is actually pretty good for this kind of build, for this wing over here. It glues instantly with plastic glue. So if you are looking to make a spoiler or a wing or something, you could use these red bag clips and do a nice little wing pretty easily. I'm probably gonna stick it on top over there, and there you have it, a wing. I mean, you can make it short, tall, whatever. For the exhaust, I have these headphones that I don't use anymore, so I cut them up and stuff. I actually made some weapons with them too for another build. But I had a piece there and I wanted to make an exhaust. And then with a Q-tip, you could just put it in there and cut it on a slant, and it makes a nice little exhaust. So once it's primed, as always, I like to prime in brown. I might change that. I might start priming in white and black. I want to make this one green, so bought this green here, and I'm just gonna start painting the body green. Now, when you when you're painting, you might see that it's a little bit transparent, so you're gonna have to do a few coats. Try not to leave any blotches of paint. Just wash it off or rub it off with the brush. It's okay if it's transparent. It's better to be transparent than having paint blotches. Let it dry and then go again with the same color until you have something you're happy with. I think that's why priming in white is better for colors. You might need less coats if you prime it in white. Now I'm going to use this brushed metal here. Little trick when you're opening these, just gotta twist the plastic the opposite direction and it's going to come off really easy. So I'm going to use that for the drill bit here. Let's cover that up in brushed metal. And then you could even use the brushed metal, inside where there's a bunch of metal parts and stuff. Make it look metallic. Then you could even go like on the tracks a little bit, dirty it up a bit. You could use the, see how I did the top of the tracks, on the side of the tracks. A little bit of paint that was left over on the brush. You could also use the leftover paint to make your vehicle weathered. So if you just dry brush some brushed metal, see like I'm doing here on the edges, it gives a nice little damaged paint look, and it's super easy to do. Anybody can do this. It's just one color and just pass it over your paint job and make it look damaged. Best thing to do with this is go along the edges like this, and wherever you see curves or whatever, you could like highlight it. That's where the paint would chip off the most. Find some, wherever there's some round edges on your car, and just put it It also highlights, so it gives it even more of a like 3D look to your paint job. So once you go all around the vehicle with some brushed metal, it really stands out and gives a nice, weathered look. Here on the exhaust was that bump all around, so I put some there. And then once that's done, you could go in with some dried rust effects from war paints, or you could just use some orange. But if you're using just orange, it's not an effect, it's just orange paint, then be more careful, have less on your brush, and just go wherever you want to put a bit of rust. Maybe go where you put a lot of the brushed metal, just go over that area with some rust, and then rust up the pipes here, put some rust there. And this always dries up darker than it actually is. And with a toothpick, you could go in, put dots of rust wherever you want. If you want to have some really rusted areas on your vehicle, just again, simple orange will do fine. You can put as much as you want, as little as you want. If you find you put too much, just go back with a brush that's dry and just bring it down. That looks okay. Again, super easy stuff here, just quick work. Nothing fancy. As most of you know, I'm not a professional. Kind of just started this hobby about a month ago, so learning as we go, right? Let's see, so with the brush, just putting some orange where I think there'd be a lot of rust here. That's where a lot of water would pool if it rained, And then you can even go with a dry brush and remove the excess. So that looks pretty rusted. With the toothpick, you could also do like rust holes or rust lines like this. Maybe bullets that hit hitting the wing. Then with some rust from Model Air, that's Vallejo type of paint, or anything brown or anything darker than the rust you already put. Just go over it and make it look like the metal that's underneath the rust. And then you could go like on the edges of the wing and just dirty it up a little bit. That looks okay. And once in a while, you just pause and look at your model and try to figure out, okay, so what's missing here? Maybe the tracks need to get a bit dirty. I mean, this is a digger, right? It probably digs a lot, and so I'm just gonna go slowly on the edge here, inside. I mean, when you're putting brown on tires or tracks, it's dirt, it's dust, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. It splashes everywhere. So you can even use the brush to tap the paint on and give it a texture, like a dirt texture. If you just tap the brush, you could even use a sponge, a small sponge if you want. Now, obviously, the dirt, splashes onto the vehicle also. So just put some where you think some dirt would go. A bit on the front here. So now we've got some tracks that are kind of dirty. To dirty up a little bit more, I'm going to put some dark tone wash on the metal parts over here, the tracks. Washes are like inks, they're like watered down paint, and they go in the cracks of everything and they basically create shade inside, and then it dries up really nice. It dries up all like dirty. So I'm gonna put some of this wash everywhere in there. Put it on the tracks here. Make it look used up. Nothing has to look perfect in Gaslands. I mean, you could make something look perfect. Maybe the guy just made his car. He's about to enter his first ever death race. You know, maybe my next vehicles are going to be cleaner, a new team. So with this sponge here, sponge brush, I don't know what to call it. You could do some really nice edge work, like this, the edge of things. Some dirt, maybe the dirt pools there. Then you could turn it sideways and then make some lines. I really like using this brush. You can find these at the dollar store. I didn't. I paid a lot for it by accident and then saw it at the dollar store. So always go to dollar store first. There's my tip of the day. Dirty up the front over here. That looks pretty good. Put some more over there. And dirty up the insides. Where the mechanisms are. There you go, that's not bad. And with some black, go on the edge of the exhausts. Where all the smoke comes out. I think I have 2 exhausts also in the back of this thing. And there's an engine there too, so I'm going to use the wash and put some black into the engine there. Give it some highlights. Then with some black, I'll paint the tip of the 2 exhausts in the back. And just dirty up a little bit over here at the back. And, I think that looks like it's done. So there you have it. Pretty easy, pretty quick. And if you guys want to help out the channel, or if you want to have some bits and some guns and stuff for your vehicle, I have an Etsy link in the description of the video. You could just order a container full of bits from my site. Also join our Facebook group, Gaslands TV. We run contests and stuff there. It's pretty fun. It's a small little group, not too many people. And if you post things, we will definitely share it. So thanks for watching, and like, comment, and share the video if you can. And click on the other video that's appearing there if you want to see more.